Happy Tuesday, everyone. It is fall, finally. It is the equinox, September 22nd. I'm so happy. I was complaining about the weather yesterday. Shame on me. I did not realize that it was a cold front until after the fact. And now it is like 73 degrees outside, which is unheard of for Florida right now. I mean, we usually get our first blast of cold air the middle of October, towards the end. It's actually usually a little chilly around Halloween, but it's 7. I put my kids in pants today, and my son asked for a sweater. It's September in Florida. Crazy. I appreciate it though, because it was so hot. And we weren't getting our normal afternoon thunderstorms every single evening like we usually do, which cools down the evening, makes it a little bit, it makes it bearable. We weren't getting those, and I don't know why, but we weren't, and it was getting to be a little too much heat. We went on a kayaking trip to the Indian River, and it was unbearably hot. Like, the water was probably in the upper 90s degrees Fahrenheit. And it had to have been over 100 degrees outside. And we went out to one little island, which they're not far. But we went out there. We did a little bit of casting. Our plan was to go to different islands and just go island hopping that day. But we only made it to the one island, and we decided to head back because it was unbearably hot. And then we had to take a break in the AC of our cars before going and getting the rest of the stuff. That's how hot it was. It was insane. But it is Tuesday. We are getting through the week, just chugging along. It's been rainy here. That is another thing about the weather. I don't think the forecasters predicted that the cold front would come all the way down here, and that's why they predicted a nice sunny weekend, because all of the moisture would go up to the cold front. This is turning into a weather forecast, but I'm just shocked about how the weather ended up being, so I have to talk about it. But there's other things to talk about, like elephants. It is Elephant Awareness Day. Did you know there was an Elephant Awareness Day, or fall? Like, I know today's the first day of fall, which there has to be a pun in here somewhere, because it is Fall Awareness Day for people who fall. Like, it is a huge deal when old people get frail, they become weak, they still think they can do things on their own, and then they end up falling. I had a grandmother who fell and broke her hip, and that's what ended up leading to her dying, because it never fully healed properly. It ended up causing other things because she wasn't being active, infection, and it happens. And people don't realize, especially the elderly people who are at risk, don't realize how dangerous it is. So if your loved ones are getting up there in age, be aware of the danger of falling, and make sure that their house is set up, if they're alone in the house or wherever they're at, is set up so it's easier for them to get around and they're less likely to fall. Very important. It is also White Chocolate Day, which I hope all of the people who love white chocolate can go out and enjoy it. I am not a fan. I do not like white chocolate. I don't think it is real chocolate, because chocolate is cocoa. In my opinion, that's how I feel. I'm also the type of person who will go out and get one of those bars that's 80% chocolate, 80% cocoa, and just nibble and be in heaven, because that's the part of the chocolate that I like. I also like dark coffee, so I like that bitterness. It's so good, but that is the exact thing that other people do not like. So everyone has their preferences, but it is White Chocolate Day, not Dark Chocolate Day. So for those who love white chocolate, enjoy. It's also Hobbit Day. I love Lord of the Rings. I love the first Hobbit book. If you haven't read it and you've only watched the movies, you are missing out. You can always listen to the audiobook. The audiobook is fantastic. They have different voices for the different characters, and they have the music that goes with it. I've read the books, listened to the audio, and watched the movies. That's how much of a nerd I am. So if you haven't, but you enjoyed the movies, you totally should do it. And if you don't have the time, do the audiobook. You can do it while you're mowing the grass. You can do it while you're working at a desk. You can do it while you're driving a car. No matter what you do as a profession, you can find time to listen to an audiobook. You just have to like crank down the music and turn on the audiobook. That's how it is. And then you have a movie in your head, and that's how that works. It is fantastic. I'm addicted to audiobooks. I work at a desk. I do CAD drafting all day. And yeah, I totally listen to audiobooks while I'm drafting away. It helps me focus, maybe. It helps me go into autopilot because it's draining when you're just grading, drafting. It does. But it's the same thing with numbers. So if you do stuff with numbers, or you do, really anything at certain points. There's certain points where you need to concentrate, certain points where you need to take phone calls, certain points when you do hands-on things, especially if you work outside. But audiobooks, I'm pushing it. It is awesome. I love it. There's also websites you can go to download free audiobooks. So like LibriVox, although they're older, but if you're new to it, then you can go on there and find some basics, some classics, and start with those, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They can be awesome. The newer ones that are that you pay for, though, you pay for them for a reason. They put a lot of work into it, and it's pretty much acting. Like, all of the different characters have different voices, and the music, and they put a lot into it, and it's amazing. So I highly recommend people getting into it because I'm a huge fan. But it is Tuesday, guys. I hope you enjoy. I love you all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.